Have you ever wondered why CatNap didn't kill DogDay? This is a question many players have tried getting the answer to, and by no surprise, the reason is shocking. Just try to think of a world where toys are alive and have their own stories. In this cool yet kinda spooky place called Playtime Co., there are two toys who stand out, CatNap and DogDay. They're not your average toys. They're like the main characters in a story that's all about friendship, betrayal, and mystery. There's many people tossing around theories about why CatNap didn't end up taking out Dogtoy, adding even more mystery to their already intriguing relationship. People who play the game have always been talking about these two and trying to figure out what they're all about. One really interesting aspect of Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 was the smiling critters. Although CatNap did an excellent job as the main antagonist, DogDay and other members of his previous group were also crucial to the plot. DogDay is the dependable leader of the smiling critters. He is constantly there to encourage and uplift other members. He is incredibly intelligent and takes his responsibility to safeguard the smiling critters extremely seriously. One of the clear oppositions of CatNap's and the prototype's goals was DogDay. Though his actual involvement during the Hour of Joy remains unknown, we can presume that he abstained from the revolt, given he is absent from all the videos. It seems improbable that he would take part in injuring so many innocent people, given his caring attitude. When the player finds DogDay, he points out that he is the last of the smiling critters that are alive. But why? There are many theories on why this could be the case. It's believed by some players that DogDay was being kept alive by CatNap, despite the prototype's orders. Before we run into DogDay in Chapter 3, we do know that CatNap and DogDay have had some interesting interactions. DogDay's cardboard cutout hints at a friendly play session with CatNap, in which two of them play a game of catch.
DogDay says, fetch! Go, go! As far as you can! Why are you just standing there?
It's during this play session that the player gets to see the start of the tension between DogDay and CatNap. It's possible that the two took a while to warm up with each other until DogDay eventually became his friend. This is demonstrated by the photo that DogDay has in his house. CatNap's relationship with the prototype is a stark contrast to the relationship he built with DogDay. The prototype was the one who basically took care of him while he stayed at the orphanage in Playtime Co. CatNap would eventually develop an unhealthy obsession with the prototype, which would dictate his actions following the Hour of Joy. But despite his strong devotion to the prototype, when it came down to DogDay's rebellion, maybe he couldn't deliver the finishing blow. CatNap might still have a soft spot for the rest of the smiling critters, you know, like how he used to calm them down when they were scared in that creepy factory. So maybe he couldn't bring himself to kill one of his own, even if DogDay was acting out. It's also quite possible that when the Hour of Joy began, DogDay and his companions tried to interfere with the prototype's plans. DogDay must have assumed CatNap was being manipulated, as his actions that day would not be reminiscent of his friend. The Hour of Joy most likely put CatNap in a sticky situation. The prototype wanted to eliminate every threat, human or toy, with lethal force, and if the smiling critters did stand against him, then CatNap would be forced to kill them. He might have had an easier time with critters like Kickin, Bubba, and Crafty, but the relationship he shared with DogDay was stronger than he thought. Another popular theory is that DogDay was kept alive so he could see his companions die and make him suffer as much as possible. In Chapter 3, the voice messages inside DogDay's cardboard cutout try to persuade us to leave the workplace. This suggests that he knew what was going on and was attempting to keep everyone who might be in danger safe, including his buddies. This resulted in probably the most agonizing fate of any of the smiling critters. We're teased about the deaths of each of the members, but for some reason, only DogDay was left alive. Once inside a cushion-tiled prison with empty cells, the player finds themselves frantically powering the playhouse's backup generator, all the while being chased by the many smiling critters, including withered versions of DogDay plushies that were subjected to the Bigger Bodies initiative. We come to find out that DogDay was tortured slowly and excruciatingly by CatNap and the prototype by having his legs amputated and arms bound. If you look closely at DogDay, he's not chained up by anything metal, and it's just regular belts that are tied around his body. Now, you would expect a sinister place like this to have steel chains, but the belts are even worse. These belts come from the staff members at Playtime Co. that were killed by toys like Huggy Wuggy and Boxy Boo. He even has a belt around his waist to halt the bleeding, which is ironically horrifying. The fact that he survived for so long in spite of such severe malnourishment and blood loss is truly shocking. DogDay tries to talk us out of leaving the facility during our brief interaction with him. Regrettably, a swarm of mini critters burrow into him through an exposed area and begin to control his flesh from the inside. Despite the player managing to escape a possessed DogDay, we never see what happened to his corpse. His body is hidden from the player behind a closed door before he lets out a terrifying cry. Some people have theorized that CatNap only kept DogDay alive to feed him to the other critters. It's possible that CatNap might have gone all Hannibal Lecter and chowed down on DogDay's legs himself. I mean, it's out there, but who knows? This theory seems more probable by the second, especially if you ever give Picky Piggy's cardboard cutout a listen.
Roast beef? Delicious! Grilled chicken? Down the hatch! Seared elephant? Yum! Played unicorn? Still hungry.
If Picky is willing to eat elephant, chicken, and unicorn, then it wouldn't be too weird to add a dog to that list. CatNap has shown in the past that he does somewhat care for his fellow critters. We've seen this when CatNap utilizes his poppy gas to assist the critters in the Smiling Critters cartoon. While DogDay defied the prototype during the Hour of Joy, that doesn't necessarily mean that the other critters did as well. CatNap could have forced some of the critters to side with the prototype out of fear, or with the promise that he would offer them protection. DogDay unfortunately must have posed a great threat to the prototype, and he needed to be made an example of. So not only would DogDay be tortured, but he would support the prototype in his own way by being food for his followers. Regardless of who was the one doing the eating, this theory was the most grotesque. CatNap cut off Dogtoy's legs in order to give a piece of him to the prototype. The prototype has been getting his hands on the big toys from the Bigger Bodies initiative since chapter 1. None of us could forget the gruesome death of Mommy Longlegs, or that giant metal hand that dragged her bloody body away. The prototype is assembling something big, and he needs a piece of every toy to complete it. CatNap is the only toy in Playtime Co. that seems to have an idea of what the prototype is building. We can see this early on in his shrine, which depicts a monstrous being compiled of different antagonists the player has gone against. PJ Pug-a-Pillar makes an appearance, as well as Huggy Wuggy on the prototype's left arm. There are numerous mini smiling critters scattered around the ground, which shows the prototype is more than willing to morph with them. CatNap was likely tasked by the prototype to remove DogDay's legs so that he could be added to his body. Either that, or CatNap cut off DogDay's legs himself as a gift offering to show his eternal servitude to the prototype. Who knows?